This is Black Libertarian. I'm black and I'm a libertarian. So, thank you all. Thank you all for watching. I'm doing a live stream, mostly as a means to test out the gear and talk a little bit about what I'm doing and seeing if everything is working correctly. Because if it is, I plan on doing a lot more live streams in the future. So this is cool. I got OBS Studio set up over there in the corner. So hopefully it is working. Hopefully my mic is on and everything. It looks like it should be playing. I did a little bit of a test recording earlier and it should be working okay. So after this is over, I'm gonna go over the footage and make any adjustments that may need to be made to the sound and all that type of stuff. So thank you very much for watching. Looks like there might be one person on if this screen here is to be trusted on this OBS software. If anyone joins, feel free to put something in the chat. I made sure to enable the chat. So the chat should be working. And I should be able to see it on my little window here. If somebody wants to type something into chat, I'll be able to see it. So that is awesome. So while I'm here, I wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm doing. I don't really expect to have too many viewers on this live stream because I haven't uploaded any videos in a very long time. It's been quite a few months. I've been busy, but and I haven't uploaded in a while. But I want to try uploading more often because I have a lot of ideas for videos that I want to do. So I've already done a few videos where I talked about the philosophy of libertarianism. And just to be very brief, libertarianism is 3 basic principles. Number 1 is the non-aggression principle, the non-initiation of force. It is immoral for any person to initiate physical force against any other person, period. The only type of legitimate force would be retaliatory force. Retaliatory force is when someone else uses initiatory force and then you use force in retaliation. That would be the difference between retaliatory force and initiatory force. The NAP basically says that initiatory force is necessarily immoral and retaliatory force is not necessarily immoral. That's number 1. Number 2 principle of libertarianism is property rights. Everyone has the right to own property. Everyone is born with property because you're born with your body. And just to be clear, property is any thing that is under the exclusive decision-making rights of another person. All right? And when a person has exclusive decision-making rights, that person is the owner of that thing. That's what ownership is. Ownership is exclusive decision-making rights. So as an example, if somebody wants to put a tattoo on my arm, right, that person would have to ask my permission first. All right, they're not allowed to ask the permission of, the guy across the street. Hey, is it okay if I put a tattoo on that guy's arm? That's not how it works. There's only one person they're allowed to ask for permission, and there's only one person who can give permission, and that's me, because I'm the one who owns the arm. I have exclusive decision-making rights. That's what ownership is. It's exclusive decision-making rights. And so that's number 2. Property, respect for property rights. Number 3 is the freedom of association, which means any person has the right to choose to associate or not to associate, or to interact with or not interact with any other person, as long as they're a consenting adult. they have the right to interact or refuse to interact with any other person they want. And as long as the interactions don't violate principles 1 and 2. You can't initiate force. You can't force anyone to interact with you. You also are not allowed to force someone to not interact with someone else. You're not allowed to intervene in an interaction between two people using force, and in an initiatory manner. And you're not allowed to force anyone to. You're not allowed to force anyone to interact with each other. So if two people don't really want to interact with each other, you as a third party would not have the right to go in there and force the two of them, right, to interact. So that's libertarianism. Those are the 3 pillars of libertarianism, you could say. The non-initiation of force, the respect for property rights, and the freedom of association. Pretty easy, simple, easy to remember. So that's good. Now, so I've made videos about all of that, and what I've done is I've broken down each of those principles into one single video, because what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to break down these philosophical basis for each of these principles. All right, these principles aren't true just because I say they are, just because I say so. That's not how it is. There's actually a legitimate philosophical foundation for all of these. And so what I do in each of those videos is I try to break that down. And I'm going to continue to do that with a lot of other concepts. And so one of the things I've been trying to do with this YouTube channel is to provide the philosophical argument for libertarianism. I'm not really focused on consequentialist arguments. The argument that you should be a libertarian because if you do, you'll get rich, or something like that. That libertarianism is the best because it's the best way to allocate resources, or it's the best because it will bring about the most happiness in people. That's not the type of argument I want to make. And part of the reason why I really don't make those consequentialist arguments or arguments from effect is because statistics never changed anyone's mind. There's never been a person who's heard some sort of statistic or some 30% of this or 50% of that and then said, oh really? In that case, I'm going to be a libertarian in that case. That's what I'm going to do. That's never happened before. The only types of arguments with the real motivating power behind them is the moral argument. You should do this because it's moral to do so, not because it'll make you feel good, or not because everyone will get rich or whatever it is. The best arguments for getting people for getting people to understand your cause, not just for libertarians, like for any belief system, whatever you happen to subscribe to, the best way to get people to understand and to get on board with what you're saying is to use the moral argument. All right, the argument that this is the way, not because it'll make you feel good, but because it's the right thing to do. It's the moral thing to do. And that's my argument. And it's a similar thing to, for example, if we were back in the 1800s. All right, and let's imagine we were alive back in the 1800s. And in the United States, right? And when the issue of the abolition of slavery was the hot ticket issue at the time. Civil War, all that type of stuff. One of the arguments that actually was made, all right, at the time, one of the arguments in favor of slavery was that we can't get rid of slavery, right? We can't. It's just too risky, because if we get rid of slavery, what will happen is there's going to be a massive food shortage. Almost all, like 90%, whatever, of the food, the crops on the farms that's being picked is being picked by slaves. So if we get rid of slavery, what's going to happen is all those people are going to stop picking all the crops. No more apples, no more oranges, no more whatever. They're all going to stop. There's not going to be enough paid workers. Like, you're just going to sit around and hope that enough paid workers will just volunteer to come over and pick the crops. Maybe some people will like get hired to like pick crops, but there's not going to be enough of them. There's not going to be enough of those people to pick all the fruit and all of the crops. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a massive food shortage. Something is wrong. Okay. I think that my chat settings were not up to par. I've changed it from top chat to live chats. I'm hoping that fixes the problem. I'm not really. I think that's what I have to do. Set it to live chat instead, so that all the chats come. Okay. So if we get rid of all the slaves, there's going to be a massive food shortage, and millions of people are going to die. Whatever food does remain, whatever little food is left, the price of that is going to skyrocket, and the poor people aren't going to be able to afford it, and millions of people are going to die, including all of those Negroes that you care so much about. They are going to be among the first ones to die. So if you really care about people, and if you really care about all those Negroes, you really should be in support of slavery. You should want slavery, because if we get rid of slavery, millions of people are going to starve to death. I understand that slavery is probably a bad thing. A lot of people don't like it, but the problem is that it's a necessary evil. We have to have it, because if we get rid of slavery, then we're going to have to deal with something that's even worse than that. Okay? So because we don't want to deal with something worse, we're going to stick with this. That way we don't have to deal with those problems. Now imagine that I was alive back in those days, listening to that argument. The argument that I would like to think that I would have made if I was alive back then is that maybe that's true. Maybe it is true that in the future, if we get rid of slavery, then the millions of people will starve to death. Maybe that's true. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't predict the future. But I'll tell you this. None of that makes slavery moral. No matter how many people you think are going to die of starvation, no matter what bad consequences, no matter what apocalypse you think is going to happen as a result of getting rid of slavery, none of that will make slavery moral, because it's immoral to initiate force against peaceful people, no matter what good effect you think might come out of it. Even if it's true, even if it's 100% true that there's going to be a massive food shortage, and even if it's 100% true that some people are going to die from it, none of that will make slavery moral. None of it. And one of the problems here about the consequentialist argument, trying to make the consequentialist argument, is that the problem is that using violence is very profitable. Right? It can get you good results. Like, it can get you what you want. Violence can get you what you want, and it usually gets you what you want much faster and much quicker than nonviolence. So, like, for example, if I wanted $10,000 in my bank account, right? If I'm going to use, like, nonviolent methods to get it, what would I do? Well, I would, like, maybe get a job, work, and maybe save up money. I would cut down on my consumption. I wouldn't buy, big fancy steaks at restaurants every weekend. I would be saving up. I would be eating bologna sandwiches, right? Saving up money, and then over a period of weeks or months or years or whatever it is, eventually I'll be able to save up $10,000, and I'll have a bank account and it'll say $10,000 on it. Or we could use violence. All we have to do is get a gun, go to a bank, point it to the lady behind the counter, and say, put $10,000 in the bag. So she does that, she puts $10,000 in, I head out, and now I got $10,000 in like 3 minutes. It's amazing. Isn't it amazing how quickly using violence can get you what you want? So, like, the problem is that, like, if you're a libertarian like me, and you're trying to use, like, the consequentialist argument that, oh, no, do this because it's better, it'll get you what you want, like, you're going to lose that argument every time. You're going to lose every time because, like, violence will always get you what you want way faster, way more reliably, and without any waiting around, without trying to see if other people accept it or if they agree or consent. You don't have to. If you're using violence to get what you want, you don't have to worry about consent. You don't have to worry about whether or not the people around you are happy or whether they like it or not. You don't have to worry about any of that. You just get a gun or a knife or whatever, and you just take what you want. Violence will always get you what you want faster and easier and more reliably than nonviolence. Always. Like, almost always, with maybe a few exceptions out there. Violence is better in that regard. Like, imagine if I'm horny and I want sex. Like, if I try to do it the non-violent way, what am I supposed to do? I mean, and let's say I don't want to pay a hooker like $200 to have sex with me or whatever. I mean, I have to go to a bar, find someone, strike up a conversation, all of that nonsense. Who has time for that? It's way faster if I get a knife, go to a dark alley, find some woman like in the Spider-Man movie, and put it in her neck and say, take your clothes off. I guess that's way faster. Way faster. Way faster, way more reliably. And I don't have to worry about, like, if she's going to say no. Like, I don't have to worry about consent. I don't have to worry about any of that. I just get what I want. Violence will always get you what you want way faster than nonviolence. Like, always. The problem is that it's evil. That's the problem. The problem is it's evil. That's why I'm against all of that stuff. I'm against it because it's evil. And there's no amount of good or positive benefits that you want or negative outcomes that you're trying to avoid. There's no amount of that will make rape moral. There's no amount of that will make theft moral. There's no amount of that will make slavery moral. No matter how many bad things, no matter how many apocalypses you think is going to happen, no matter, people riding flaming motorcycles and throwing exploding beer bottles through windows, no matter how much of any of that you think is going to happen, none of that will make slavery moral. None of it will make the initiation of force moral. And that's why part of the reason why I started this YouTube channel. Part of the reason why. That's what I'm trying to help people understand. I understand. I completely understand that violence gets you what you want quickly and easily. Just take a gun and point it to somebody and demand to take their stuff. You don't have to worry about consent. You don't have to worry about taking too much time. You don't have to worry about any of that. Just use violence to get what you want. The problem is that it's evil, all right? It's evil. It's immoral. And so that's one of the reasons why I don't make the consequentialist argument. And I don't think that any other libertarian should, regardless of what David Friedman says. Regardless of what David Friedman says, Milton Friedman's son, there was just, it is an argument that you will lose every single time. Because every time you try to tell somebody that it will get you good results, there's always somebody who's going to raise their hand and say, well, yeah, but if I use violence, I get the results faster, easier. And you know what? They're right. They're absolutely 100% correct. Violence will get you the results way faster and way easier. So the consequentialist argument is an argument that you as a libertarian will lose every single time. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because morality is not about consequences. Morality is not about getting benefits, getting things that you like, or avoiding things that you don't like. Right? That getting things that you like or avoiding things that you don't like none of that makes any of these actions moral or immoral. Like none of that has anything to do with it. Morality is objective. It's universal. It applies to everyone equally, simultaneously, and so that's one of the main reasons why I've been focused on the philosophical argument, not the consequentialist argument. Consequentialist argument is not effective. It's never changed in anyone's mind, and it's a losing battle. It's a losing uphill battle to try to do that. So that's why I do this. I think that what people really need is a strong philosophical foundation to understand the reasons why these principles are true. They're not just true just because I say them, just because I say they're true. No. There are actual proofs. All right, there are actual proofs that you can use to prove that each of these things are true, and that's what each of these videos I've done in the past I've tried to do. That's what I've tried to do with each of these videos. So I made the YouTube channel, Black Libertarian, and I am looking over. If you're wondering what's that guy looking at, what's he looking over there? I am looking at the computer. The computer screen is over there. I got OBS up there, and it's feeding information about what's happening on the stream and stuff like that. And it has a video of there, so I can see myself in the video and stuff like that. So if you catch me looking in that direction, that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. So I started up the YouTube channel. I've wanted to do this for a long time. And when I first started, when I was going to make the YouTube channel, I was feeling a little bit crestfallen in advance, because I really wanted the name Black Libertarian. I really wanted that. But I thought, nah, man, come on. I mean, that's such a generic sounding name. Surely somebody else would have come up with that name by now. I mean, I'm surely not the only Black Libertarian on YouTube. I mean, I don't even know whether to be happy about that or to be, like, depressed. Because, on the one hand, I mean, I got what I wanted. I mean, when in the little box when I was creating my channel, and it said you have to come up with something, you know, a username or whatever, but it has to be unique. It has to be unique. No one else can take that name, so you have to think of something unique. I was thinking, oh, come on, man, there's no way Black Libertarian isn't already taken. I'm gonna have to settle for like Black Libertarian _1 or some nonsense. But no. It turns out that I really am the only Black Libertarian on YouTube. I don't know if I'd be happy or be depressed about that, because like, I mean, I got my name for my channel, but like, I really am the only one. Yeah, I really am the only one. So I'm not not sure what's gonna happen as a result of this. So yeah, I really am. But the most wonderful thing about Tigris is I'm the only one. I'm the only one. Um, there you go. Give 100 bonus points to the person who could tell me where that reference is from. First person. 100 bonus points. So, yeah, I really am the only one. So, I started up the channel, put up some videos, I made a short. I'm not sure if I'm going to make any more shorts. I don't know, maybe. I mean, I got CapCut. And I used that, and it was pretty cool. I had this little feature where it can, like listen to the audio, and it automatically detect words and put it in. Made it a lot easier. I mean, I still had to tinker with it a lot in order to get the timing of the words just right, but it was an interesting experience. Not particularly fun to do all that tinkering and try to time all the words and everything just right. I don't know how many shorts I'm gonna end up doing, but I do have a lot of ideas. So I think because I do have a lot of other topics I want to discuss, but I'm thinking of doing those topics on a live stream. So it's kind of like the videos I've done before, only this time a live stream instead of just a video. That way I can have the ability to field questions if anybody has questions, and it can be more of an interactive dialogue. And yeah, that's a lot of fun. And so that is awesome. I plan on doing some more stuff. Oh, Against the State. If you're watching this, shout out to you. I featured him on my channel. He's an awesome person. He's got some awesome videos I watch. He's pretty funny. So I like that. I want to do some stuff with him if that could be possible. I've been so busy lately, and I haven't really been able to do anything. But I have I have a lot of ideas of what I want to do. I just don't know when I will be able to do it. So that is what I have been doing, and the reason why I started up this channel. So hopefully that answers that question. If anyone was wondering. So I think the audio is still good. I'm looking over there, I'm seeing myself on the video, trying to get everything lined up and running. I had a little bit of a live stream. I had a little bit of a thing over there with my music in it, so if I ever need to I can ever do that if I ever need to do that. Oh, I am blurry. My camera's blurry. Okay. So yes, I can do that if I ever need to do that. I learned that from a tutorial on YouTube. So that is awesome. And now, I think this camera, I might have to do some adjustments with these camera settings because it looks like I'm getting blurry a lot. And I think it's that autofocus thing where I'm moving around a lot, and if I move in and out a lot, it causes me to be blurry. And also I don't know what I'm going to do with the audio, because when I do a recording I can take the audio and put it in Pro Tools, and I use Pro Tools to I do de-essing, and I do EQing, and I do compressing, and I have a noise cancellation plugin called Clarity VX, and it's a really cool. It's a really good. That's like the best noise cancellation plugin I've ever used. Clarity VX by Waves. So I do all of that, and then I put on a limiter to make it loud enough so that it's loud enough. Because one of the things I hate on YouTube is when there's a YouTube video that's not loud enough. And I have the volume on my computer and my speakers cranked up all the way to maximum, and it's still not loud enough. And I have a sound booster program on my computer so I can boost the sound even more, make it even louder. I don't know if I'm going to bust out my eardrums, but there's a lot of times a YouTube video is just not loud enough, and you can't really hear, and it kind of sounds fuzzy, and it doesn't really sound crisp and clear. I hate that. It's one of my pet peeves. So one of the things I can do on my channel is I can actually, change that, and I can actually make the audio sound as good as possible with the condenser microphone that I'm using. I normally use this microphone for singing, but for stuff like this, which is like a podcast type of thing, like I think a dynamic microphone would probably be better, especially since I'm moving around a lot and I'm not always the same distance away from the microphone that I'm using. So the distance from a microphone is changing constantly. And so I think a dynamic microphone would probably be best for that rather than a condenser microphone like this. This is more like a studio microphone. So yeah, when I do a recording, I can get all the audio ship-shape and then put it on so the audio sounds great. I can't really do that with a live stream, because the audio is just whatever it is. Whatever the audio is, that's how it goes up on YouTube. Unless I just want to do the stream and then take the video down and then fix the audio and then put the video back up. I don't really feel like doing all of that work. That is too much work. So that is going to be an issue if I start doing a live stream. I don't know. I might have to get a different microphone. I don't want to spend any money on a different microphone. So I want to do more live streams. I will do them. And hopefully, if this live stream works out, like if the audio and video is good enough, I might do more live streams. So I'll see how that goes. Doesn't look like... Looks like there might be one person watching. According to this, there's this YouTube studio window in the OBS software. So it looks like I can see the live chat and some other settings in here. So it looks like I should be able to make adjustments in there. I've never actually done a live stream before, so I'm really just feeling around in the dark, trying to figure all this out on the fly. So I think I'm going to cut it off right here. I'm going to cut it off here. We'll go over, watch the video, make any changes that need to be made, and then later on we'll do a live stream for real. For real this time, we'll do a live stream. So, and then that will be on. I'm going to do a video. I'm going to talk about profit. Profit is a very misunderstood concept, especially by socialists, which normally are seen as the arch enemy of libertarians. So I'm going to do a philosophical deep dive on that, and I'll do some more videos on a few other topics as well. So that is all, and I do have a few other ideas for videos I want to do. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. Be sure to feel free to leave a comment. I reply to every comment. If somebody makes a comment, I will reply to it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.